Here we go now.
And we're back. What is going on, everyone? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Okay, first of all, shout out to you all for being here. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Be sure to let me know if you can hear me, see me, all that good stuff. Be sure to vote in the live chat poll on how you would rate this week's episode of Married to Medicine from 1 to 10. If you're watching on Twitch, or if you're watching on X, or if you're watching on Facebook, be sure to let us know how you'd rate Married to Medicine. This is the final episode for season 12 of Married to Medicine. I have so many thoughts. I will say this, though, because I know some people might have felt like the reunion was rushed and there were things that weren't talked about. Like we didn't get a package for Dr. Jackie. Did we get a package for Dr. Contessa? I don't think so. But I feel like we didn't talk about Dr. Contessa and her marriage and some of those things, or the building. Is the building done? Like some of those things I feel like we could have gotten like an update on or something, like even quickly. The men were fighting, and I get it. Our community, we will be able to see and be team ourselves, but I see on social media there are some Toya stans that can't see past when she's wrong or when other people are wrong. We're going to talk about all of it because I can see the parts where Toya is right, and I said this last week, and I can see the parts where she's wrong. In part 2, I don't see any accountability, especially from Dr. Eugene and Toya. I don't see any accountability, but we will get there. I also don't see any accountability from Dr. Damon Daddy. Y'all let Dr. Damon Daddy get away with murder. Dr. Damon Daddy is a reflection of his partner. And I've said this about other people before. When you don't like one particular person in a relationship. We were talking about this with Ashley Darby from Real Housewives of Potomac and Michael Darby. We were like, oh, now it's making more and more sense how she was in a relationship with Michael Darby. She's very much like him. And I'm seeing past the veil of Dr. Damon Daddy. I'm like, oh, now I understand why you guys don't share anything. You both don't want to share anything. You're on a reality show. And look, I don't think you have to share every morsel of your life just because you're on a reality show, but you got to share something. And the moment that you have something to share or there's something to talk about, now you're shucking and jiving, so you don't have to share anything. But we will unpack. I see there are mixed feelings on Steve. I appreciate Steve stepping up for his wife. And I think he really wanted to have the conversation with Dr. Eugene and Toya. Anytime Toya is there, Toya is going to fight with the men. They always talk about how the men should stay out of women's business and things like that. But then when your wife is arguing with a man, that's when you should step in and pull her back and let you handle the conversation. But we know what Dr. Eugene does. But we will get there. We will get there. If you haven't already, guys, be sure to like the video. It's easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well that talk about Married to Medicine. But as you know, here on the channel, we don't just talk about Married to Medicine. We talk about everything in pop culture. And if you missed it over the weekend, we had a couple of stories. I planned to not do anything this weekend, just to relax. However, the chili of it all. Yes, TLC's chili got into some mess over the weekend for her donations to a MAGA-related organizations in the Trump campaign. I did 2 videos, short form videos, long form videos. If you missed any of that, because I know some of you rely on the algorithm to see some of my videos, go to the page so that you can see it. Go to the page so that you can see it. All right, so, all right, let me start from the top, because you know last week's episode of Married to Medicine ended with Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone and what's going on in their relationship. I'm not sure if this was a storyline. I don't know if I believe it's a storyline, because I still do not believe that these two are. I still do not believe that these two have remained the same friends that they were years ago. I don't know if I believe that. I think their friendship has not been the same ever since that. However, it felt like they got over it a little too quickly. And I'm seeing some stuff with the Married to Medicine cast that's feeling very performative. Even the interview they did recently after Quad and Heavenly did that Carlos interview. And I'm just like, okay, they're trying to set us up for next season. This is what they do. They want to claim that they don't create storylines and they don't produce these moments. But you think that the audience is dumb, and we're not. We're far from dumb. A lot of you are trying to set us up for next season's storyline. And a lot of y'all stories are tired, because it's the same thing that you guys have been arguing about for years. And I honestly feel like there needs to be a bit of a cast shakeup next season of Married to Medicine, or delay the season coming back. This is why I said this would be great if we had other cities in place when it comes to Married to Medicine, because Atlanta, they've needed a shakeup for a while now. They definitely need a little bit of a shakeup. I'm not saying everyone needs to go, but some people do need to go. Here's the thing. I still don't understand why Quad was sitting next to Andy at this reunion. I also don't understand why Quad is able to get away with not allowing. You brought King on this show. You made him a part of your storyline. Now we do not have the resolution of that storyline. It's very similar behavior to what was happening with Dr. Gregory and Sweet Tea. You are, you don't want to talk about it. You don't want to engage in it after you're gaslighting the situation. We've talked about this. We're not going to revisit it, but gaslighted that situation. And then all of a sudden you don't want them on the show anymore because it's not convenient for you. You secured your spot on the show. So they're no longer convenient for you. So now I'm going to remove them from the show. King is no longer convenient for you. So I'm now not going to talk about it and remove him from the show. Production should have, at the very least, not put you next to Andy Cohen, because I know that puts something in your ego. I would have had you at the end of the couch, like a friend of. I would have put you right behind Angel, because you brought absolutely nothing to this reunion. The person that should have been sitting next to Andy should have been Dr. Heavenly, but hear me out. Yes, Dr. Heavenly has brought a lot to this show. Yes, Dr. Heavenly has provided a lot of funny moments too. Yes, Dr. Heavenly brought a lot to this reunion, so she deserved to sit next to Andy, even though she was a friend of the season, which I think was convenient so that she would not have to delve in deeper when it comes to what's going on with her son. Fine, Heavenly, if you do not want to talk about what's going on with your son because of a mental health issue, I respect it. Get off of reality television.
Get off of reality television.
If you do not want to talk about what's going on in your life, get off of reality television, because you're so willing to pick up and pull and talk about all the rumors, or put out the rumors, even if they're not even true, on your YouTube channel. But when it's time for you to talk about what's going on in your life, everyone has to respect it. Everyone has to respect it. You need to get off of reality television. I appreciate all that you've contributed to Married to Medicine. Thank you for your services. The door is now closed. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? And for the people that be like, well, that's not her story to tell, and da 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 da. How convenient. Because if this story was in any of the other women's lives that weren't her friends, like Dr. Simone, she would be wanting to talk about it. She would be slick with the mouth talking about it. You saw what she did when she got into that issue with Simone during Angel's, whatever that was that Angel threw, to the Scrubs party. She immediately went to talk about Simone's marriage when Simone opened up to her and was vulnerable with her. She immediately tried to throw that in Simone's face. Just saying. But that's just my thoughts. I already jumped in. So at the top of part 2 of the reunion, it's only a 2-part reunion, which I feel like, look, I said this last week, I'm going to say it again. Let's normalize 2-part reunions. I think one part, sometimes depending on the season, can be it will definitely feel rushed. But remember, the first part of this reunion was actually an hour, like a full hour. It was like an hour and a half with commercials. But the first part, so technically they had a 2.5 part reunion. All right. So at the top of this reunion, Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone are talking about their issues. I don't know. I felt like Dr. Simone forgave Dr. Jackie a little too easily, but then I had to just put my psychology degree to work, and I said, well, look how forgiving Dr. Simone is when it comes to Cecil and some of the things that I probably would have divorced him over. But that's me. That's me. I probably would have divorced him over. She's willing to allow these people to do these things to her. I'm not surprised that she's allowing Dr. Jackie to not be a good friend. Not be a good friend. Sidebar, did you guys notice at the end of this reunion when Dr. Simone and Dr. Heavenly were going at it, and Dr. Heavenly had said something to the effect of, well, I'm not willing to don't put my business out here like you are. Like it was a bad thing, and she's on a reality show. And that said everything that I need to know about Dr. Heavenly. But Dr. Jackie's looking at her, and she's like, don't look at me. Look at your friend. Very passive aggressive, like she's mad at Dr. Jackie for reuniting with Dr. Simone. Now we understand that dynamic. She doesn't want Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone to be close. She is the cancer in that friendship. Some might say she's a cancer on the show. I will say this, after watching last night's episode, I said to myself, I was like, you know what? Dr. Heavenly, although she's brought a lot of funny and a lot of interesting moments for the show, I'm not going to take that away from her. She has. I've enjoyed her over the years. But I've been saying this these last couple of seasons. I feel like she's as Nene would say, she's declassing the show. And I know what you're going to say. I mean, have you seen moments with Dr. Simone? I get it. I get it. But she's declassing the show, Dr. Heavenly. All right. I've had a rant. I've had a lot to say, though. Based off of the season, now the season's over. Before I jump back into what happened during this reunion, based off of the season, though, how would you grade the season? A, B, C, D, E, F. How would you grade the season? I don't think it was a terrible season. We've had terrible seasons when it comes to reality television. And I always go back to the Real Housewives of New York curve that I give a lot of these reality shows. It definitely wasn't as bad as New York City and what happened over there. So I do feel like it was a good season. It wasn't their best. And if you've watched Married to Medicine from the beginning, they've had really, I think seasons 1 through 8, if you haven't watched this show and you're just watching our recaps, go watch seasons 1 through 8. Those are the best seasons. Okay? Not an X, girls. I'm seeing a lot of C's. That's what I was thinking. Namaste, Jay. I think a B-. And I think we're being generous with the B-, but we're grading them a little bit on a curve. But I do think production, you did a good job, because I know you watch. I think you did a good job with this 2-part reunion. I do believe there are some things that we missed. I think this could have been a 3-part reunion if King was there. So production, you should be mad at Quad for not allowing King to be there. I think if they had King there, there's more that we could have unpacked when it comes to their relationship. And maybe this group could have saved this relationship. I'm being facetious. I'm being a little facetious because when a Taurus is done with you, we're done with you. And Quad is done with King. And I'm not sure exactly what it was. I do believe Quad pays a lot of attention to social media and what people are saying about social media. And that really helps her navigate how she feels about people, her cast, her basically her relationship. And look, was King a prize? No. We saw how he was with her and what he would say to her. But I do believe all of you saying those things on social media about how he speaks to her got into her head. And that was part of the reason why she decided to stop end that relationship. But I think, Quad, you brought this man on this show and you forced him on us. You said that this was your relationship. You should still allow him to come and speak his piece on the show, unless you're worried about what he's going to say. Exactly. Taurus Moon says Quad is in Africa with her real friends living her best life. We barely ever see Quad with the other ladies. Yes, they'll do a little thing at one of their homes, and Quad and all of them will be together. I think that's all strategic for social media and for the show. Not for Adria. Dina says for Adria Webb. This is why people don't believe Quad. I believe Quad definitely went through IVF. I do believe Quad wants to have a child. I want Quad to have a child. I think Quad would be an amazing mother. We've seen her be very motherly with her own other family members. So I want that for her. If she's ready to do that, fantastic. Will that be her storyline next season? It wouldn't shock me. But when Andy asked her in part 1 about her relationship, about the baby and stuff like that, she was so elusive with her storyline. Like, this is your moment, Quad, to talk about your stuff. And she really was giving us surface answers. The only time she gave us anything of depth was when she was mad that people were insinuating that she had a fake storyline about IVF. That's the only time we got real emotions from her. Well, also at the end. She said, I've been in the trenches. I said, Quad, this is what makes us love Quad too, though, because she's so dramatic. That I've been in the trenches. And that hair just looking a mess. I could tell, Quad, the hair tells me you've been in the trenches. I've been in the trenches. Okay. I've been in the trenches, y'all. Can't you tell? All right. Y'all know y'all were laughing. Come on. She been in the trenches. Tress says she has, though. Okay. She said, I've been in the trenches, y'all. All right. So back to Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone. So they resolved their issues really quickly. Dr. Simone says she can't move forward with Dr. Heavenly and this narrative. And I agree. We've talked about this endlessly in regards to the narrative that Dr. Heavenly was trying to perpetuate about Dr. Simone. Dr. Jackie asked Dr. Simone, what do you want? That frustrated me. I don't know about anyone else. That frustrated me. What do you mean, what do I want? You saw, hold on, I see a familiar face in the chat. Cocktails, where have you been? Cocktails is watching on Facebook. I haven't seen Cocktails Ross in so long. That is an OG from way back here on the channel. Where have you been? Well, it's nice to see you. Anyway, wait, what did you say? I'm sorry, I pulled your comment up. I saw your picture and I was like, wait a second, where did Cocktails go? Where Cocktail? Oh, Cocktail says, but I'm Quad. But is Quad pregnant, Kempire? Oh, I don't think so. She looked real snatched at that reunion. Okay. Anyway, back to this. I've been in the trenches. Anyway. So Dr. Jackie asked Dr. Simone, what does she want? What do you mean, what do I want? Like, what part of that? Dr. Jackie, you're an educated person. Yes, common sense is not available to a lot of book smart people. However, Dr. Jackie knows exactly what Dr. Simone needed. You saw what we all saw. So you're not telling me you're dense. Okay? It's giving dense, though. She's like, what do you want? Dr. Simone then says, she's asking Dr. Jackie, what did you see in the video? What did you see in the video? And that frustrated me because I'm like, I should not, as if you're my friend, I should not have to go through all of this for you to see the truth. We all saw it. You don't have to like Dr. Simone to see that she did not do what Dr. Heavenly was claiming and is still claiming at the reunion. That's the frustrating part too. Dr. Heavenly is still standing 10 toes down that Simone did something to her. But okay. So Dr. Heavenly says that Simone was screaming at her and it was uncalled for. She always screams. Dr. Simone always screams. You were being dramatic, Dr. Heavenly. And I'm so glad that Dr. Contessa points out that this was a blaring situation, but I've always told you, people love to say that Karen is just a white person. No, I always said being a Karen is an energy. So it could be, and we don't need to do blaring nothing. No. Heavenly, let's call it what it was. Heavenly was being a Karen. Okay? So, Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie hug it out. Jackie says that Simone should not have unfollowed her. Whatever. She's since followed, as we know. Andy asked the other women, what did they see in the video? And they all say that they did not see Dr. Simone push Heavenly. I don't know why you guys in the moment could not see that, but fine. But I guess you had to go back and see it. But he confirms with everyone that that's not what happened. And Dr. Heavenly is still standing 10 toes down that's what happened. She's like, oh, she screamed at me and that was uncalled for. You're screaming at people all the time too. That's uncalled for. Contessa, as I said to you before, she calls out Heavenly for being a black Karen because she always runs to security. So they flash back when Dr. Contessa was pulling up on Dr. Heavenly. Well, I could understand. Like that situation versus this situation are two different things. I mean, Dr. Contessa did not make contact with Dr. Heavenly, but she was being a little, forward and aggressive with her body movement. She says, "Square up, ho." That's what she said. Put it on a t-shirt, Dr. Contessa. Contessa says that Heavenly was using trigger words as well, like unhinged. She was. She said, I can't remember all the trigger words that she was using, but she used multiple trigger words when describing Dr. Simone. Trigger words that she said during the trip that she intentionally used so that she could get out of the trip, but she still ended up going on the trip. All right. Okay. We're flashing to the men. So Curtis says that Toya, here's the thing. Curtis, you are trying to spin a narrative. I don't understand your issue with Dr. Eugene and Toya because you were wrong. Because when they flash back to Watch What Happens Live, Toya didn't say that she spoke to other women and that you had your hands on other women and blah, 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 blah. First of all, do y'all believe that was the first time that Curtis cheated when he went to Hilton Head and got some head? Do y'all believe that was the only woman? I don't know. I don't know. But Curtis is backstage and he brings this up to Dr. Eugene and says that Toya perpetuated a lie. He said a lie. He said a lie. And I'm like, and I'm glad they flashed back because I was like, wait, did Toya say other women? Did she say it in other interviews? And you guys will let me know. Did she say it in other interviews where there were other women? I don't remember that. Okay, especially when they flash back and they show what she said on Watch What Happens Live. Curtis says that Toya has perpetuated a lie about him having his hands on her and other women. That's not what Toya said. Toya didn't even say multiple women. She says a couple of women on the show. Which is true. And then the woman outside over there in Hilton Head. Curtis says that Toya has said that other women have come to her. And I'm like, I don't remember her saying that. When did she say that? So Eugene says that he can't speak for what other women have told Toya. I mean, again, that's not what Toya said. Okay. Dina says Curtis was in DR when Jackie told him about Toya on Watch What Happens Live. Or Canada. Remember the season he was in Canada? I don't like Curtis. I appreciate the energy, but it was misdirected. I think it was definitely misdirected, especially because you're mad about something that you have done. It's on camera. It's on camera. And I like the fact that Toya in this episode tells Jackie this is your fault because Dr. Jackie tried to deny what he did. Did she ever apologize to Toya? I don't think so, because Toya made it seem like she's never apologized or owned the fact that she tried to deny that he was the one who pulled her into his lab. But okay. Fun food freebies. Lord have, that's a tongue twister. Says, why was Curtis first chair? I don't know. Look, I don't know. Why was Curtis using Dr. Jackie's line about he's done with it when the guys came out, and I'm done with it. I like how they changed the chairs for the guys when the guys came out. Shout out to the art direction over there at Pop. Y'all did that. The reunion set was great. I wish y'all would have did a different color for the ladies, just because I hate that we just were off the Potomac reunion and they had red. But I get it. It's two different production companies. But y'all communicate. Come on. But y'all probably didn't know. Sorry. Someone knew, though. Cynthia says Dr. Jackie doesn't apologize. And I'm tired of Dr. Jackie. All right. So back to the doctors. So the doctors react to the things that are going on in the news and on social media. I really appreciated this section because this goes to the heart of Married to Medicine and what I want them to start focusing more on in the seasons going forward. And I get it. You have to have a mix of drama. You're producing reality television. But here's the thing. This is where America's Next Top Model lost the plot. They started trying to top every reality TV moment instead of staying to the heart of a show. I get it. You have a reality show to produce. You can do a mix of both. I feel like the medicine on the show is it's like 1% of the show. It feels like sometimes like 5%. Okay. I'll give them a little bit more. It's like 5% of the show. All right. So Dr. Jackie reveals that she feels like sometimes with their patients that they're competing with TikTok trends, because I'm sure you guys see it all the time. TikTok told me this. TikTok gave me this particular remedy for this. So both her and Dr. Simone say that sometimes they're competing with TikTok because their patients are coming in and saying, "Oh, TikTok told me this, Dr. Jackie," and blah 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 blah. Here's the thing. I think it's okay for TikTok and people on TikTok giving that information, but bring that information to your doctor. I will say this. I just went to my doctor the other day. I was getting like popping in my ears. You know, when you start thinking things, you're like, oh my God, am I dying? What is going on? What's going on? Am I losing? What's going on? But this is why you go to the doctor. And we talked about this with Dr. Frida as well. Shout out to Dr. Frida. If you missed our medical hour, Dr. Frida will be back. Dr. Frida has to come. There's so many conversations that we can have with Dr. Frida. Dr. Frida will be back for our medical hour, okay? But even now, I feel a little congested. But I'm glad I went to my doctor because my doctor was like, well, based off your symptoms, I'm not dying, thankfully. But based off your symptoms, it's allergy related. I didn't think that I could have any allergies because I went to the allergist for 7 years doing the immunotherapy for the allergy shots so that I wouldn't have this experience. But he said, okay, I'm tell you to do this for a couple of weeks. And if it continues, then, why am I telling y'all my medical stuff? Because we're talking about a doctor show, okay? And it's just a reminder that, you should listen to your doctor. You should also get a second opinion too sometimes if you don't agree with your doctor. But I agree with my doctor. I was like, okay, that makes more sense, doctor. They take you off the ledge. Because sometimes things are happening to you and you're like, am I okay? Are you okay? Look, I have the t-shirt on, y'all. Are you okay? Go to houseofkempire.com. Go get your merch. I got the The black colors. Come on now. They come in sweatshirts too, and the mugs. All right, don't forget. Y'all asked for the travel mugs. You asked for the mugs. Are you okay? Merch are now available. Now available. Just saying. All right. All right. Speaking of black, today's sponsor. Shout out to Black. Shout out to Baskin Lather. I am always so excited when I can collaborate with a brand, first of all, that's black owned, but also something that I know you all can benefit from and will love. That's why today's live is brought to you by our friends over at Baskin Lather. So let me tell you a little bit about Baskin Lather and how it even all began. As I mentioned to you before, it's a black-owned business. When a dermatologist misdiagnosed CEO Shayna's younger sister and said her hair may never grow back, the family took things into their own hands, very much like black people always do. Today, her hair is down to her hips. Shayna and her mother researched and formulated their own scalp and hair oil to stimulate growth and retain length. And I know what you're probably thinking, Kempire, what do you know about hair? Well, I said I'm going to find a product from this company that I can use. So for those of you, shout out to the guys that follow the channel, or maybe your husbands that are just listening earshot, they have beard remedies as well. So I've been using their beard shampoo, their beard conditioner, their beard oil, their beard magic, which is going to help fill in spots. I've been using it for 3 weeks. So if you see a transformation when it comes to my beard, you know it was at the hands of Baskin Lather. So there are things there for men as well. But more importantly, I know that we have a large audience of women that follow the channel. So I love when we can bring a product that's going to benefit you. Let me tell you a little bit more about Baskin Lather and some of the things that they have on their website. If you're looking for something when it comes to your hair, nourish and hydrate from the inside out with 100% natural ingredients. They have a nourishing hair balm for curly or kinky hair that helps reduce hair breakage and adds shine. When used regularly, users have seen results in about 3 months. Made with ingredients that can penetrate hair strands without clogging pores. Non-greasy formulation with no petroleum or lanolin. They also have hydrating hair mist. Keep any hair type soft and shiny and hydrated. Combines aloe vera and avocado oil to reduce frizz, treat dryness, detangle, and redefine curls. And I took a look at their before and afters, and you would be amazed. From people that have alopecia to dryness of hair to length. The length, I was like, well, maybe I do need to try it. They also have before and after when it comes to thinning hair and shedding of your hair. As I said before, there are multiple before and afters for men as well. These products are for both men and women. I never bring you something here where you can't benefit or get a discount. Explore viral bestsellers and products of healthier hair of all types from Baskin Lather. Go to baskinlatherco.com and use code Kempire for 20% off. That's 20% off at baskinlatherco.com, code Kempire. More details on Baskin Lather will be available in the description. Thanks to Baskin Lather for sponsoring today's live. And we're back. Shout out to Baskin Lather. I just saw Andy on the tube says, Baskin Lather is actually the truth. It's been helping with my alopecia. I'd love to see that. Again, more information on Baskin Lather will be available in the description, guys. So be sure to check that out. Back to our Married to Medicine recap. For those that are just joining us, do not forget to like the video. It's an easy, free way of supporting the channel. There's over 1,400 of you watching on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitch. Shout out to those of you watching on X as well. Be sure to follow me on all platforms. You never know when I'm going to go live on those platforms exclusively. Hey, Miss Kelly, thank you so much for being a member and for the super chat. Miss Kelly says, Dr. Jackie is a terrible friend and has no idea what loyalty is. Simone is her only friend. Simone should have cut it right then and there. I agree, Kelly. I agree. I shouldn't have to go through all of that to prove anything to you when you saw the tape. Literally on Watch What Happens Live, which was weeks before this reunion. Tress, thank you so much for the super chat. Tress says, maybe Simone did the mama arm squeeze on Heavenly. I mean, you do see a little bit of a squeeze. You do see a little bit of a squeeze. You're right. You're right. But it's not like Heavenly in that moment said, ow. It's not like she did that, even though, some kids, they'll be real extra dramatic when you do a little arm squeeze. They're like, oh my God, ow. You're right, Tress. I did see that. Nomad Tiff, thank you so much for being a member and for the super chat. Nomad says, all jokes aside, Heavenly is abusive. Her abuse is passed off as comedic relief. It's time for her to go, not just a bravo pause, but away. Ooh. Ooh, you see that, Heavenly? I know you watch. I know you watch. All right, so back to the conversation about medicine. So Andy asked some more questions. Simone says that certain patients don't want a certain zodiac sign. So sometimes when they're in the middle of delivery, they're like trying to hold, like, I don't want a Pisces, a boy. I want, like they're on the cusp. Here's the thing. Y'all know I love astrology, but I wouldn't be doing all of that. You get what you get, and that's the way it's supposed to happen. Because if you really do believe in the science behind astrology, your child is supposed to be born for that particular date and time. I'm not going to tell my doctor to hold off because I don't want to have a Pisces or a Cancer or a Libra or a Gemini. I'm not going to do all of that. Come on, and y'all know I love astrology, but I'm not going to do all of that. So I thought that was hilarious. But I do believe her. Right? I believe her that there are people out there that like, I don't want to have a damn Scorpio or I don't want a damn Sagittarius. Okay, I can maybe hold it in. Look, hold it in. Ooh, Winter says, yep, I got a bad Aquarius. So it is what it is. You're supposed to have that person. Okay? Quisha Mama says, I was just saying. Quisha Mama says, why I had to walk into that slander. Hello, all. Hey, Camp. Love you, Pisces female. But look, I find that funny. I do find that funny. All right. That exactly. His bookie bear says, that's just dumb. Putting your health and mortality at risk. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all know I love a good astrology, but I'm not going to do all of that. Okay, I'm not gonna do all of that if I was pregnant or if I had I mean, I would hope and pray. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're supposed to be a Taurus, but you're on the cusp of Gemini. Okay, maybe then I'll be like, you can hold that in. I don't want. Look, all right, moving on. So Contessa, so here's the thing. They start talking about other things in regards to the grants that are being affected with this current administration. And Dr. Simone says, I wouldn't have been able to afford college or medical school without the Pell Grant and things like that. Then Contessa says, I came from parents that weren't doctors. They worked for the post office and things like that. So, and she's like, they didn't have $400,000 to put me through medical school. And then I thought to myself, $400,000, and they raised $10,000 at the Met Gala. They did not talk enough about how much they raised at the Met. They're talking more for their egos, because I really don't believe that the Met Gala is really about them helping people go to medical school. Not if you guys are fighting about the logistics and not how much money you raise. You raised far less money this year than you did last year. I think, shout out to Toya. I think she really streamlined it this season when it comes to getting them a website and turning it into an actual foundation. However, y'all raised $10,000, and Dr. Contessa is talking about when she went to medical school. Medical school was $400,000 then. How much is it today? $5,000, as we've been saying. I appreciate them raising money and giving the money to those young ladies. However, that's not going to even cover books. That's not even covering a semester. Okay? I just feel like y'all got to do better. I get it's reality television. You're producing a show, but you could really use reality television and do something with it. You could raise money where we can donate. And this is why I said kudos to Toya, because now, very much like what Andy said, next year when you do the Met Gala, I can make a donation. We all can make a donation. However, when y'all called in and said y'all don't know what Toya do with y'all money, I said, wait, no, but it's a 501c. So if she does anything terrible with that money, lock her up. I believe Dr. Jackie would be overseeing that stuff, okay? But at least next season, we all can contribute to the Met Gala and really help students go to college. But I need them to be serious about it, because there are other 501c3s that actually are doing that for children or young people that are going to medical school. So if we can find some of them, if you know some of them, let us know and we will share them here. However, that you guys have a huge platform to raise a lot of money. $5,000 per person was so disappointing. Disappointing, because I don't believe that you guys really put your heart. You still aren't even arguing about the right thing. You're arguing about the Met Gala and how it was done and who did it. Y'all need to do better. Okay? Dr. Jen says, I would donate. We all would donate. We raised, $7,000 last year for Pride Month. Us, as a community, raised $7,000. 100% of that donation went to the center. Thank you again to everyone that donated. We did that in 2 weeks. So we're going to do even better. I think we should raise $10,000 this June. Who's with me? Look, hands in if you're with me. Everyone put your hand in. I'll wait. Look, I'll wait. Put your hand in. 10,000 for the center this year. Everyone put your hand in if you're listening to this on the podcast. We're going to raise 10,000 this year for the center for Pride Month. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying. Thank you so much for another super chat, Tress. Tress says, I love that Mimi and Steve are sharing their story and what life looks like for their family. Autism is a broad spectrum. A lot of us feel seen. And they talked about this during the reunion. We'll get back to that in just a second. Okay. So then they talk about, Quad. I like the fact that Quad brought up how this administration has changed, that nurses is no longer considered a professional career. That is crazy to me. That's great. Because especially when you think about the nurses that have more education than the president himself. We know what that's about, because if you look at the statistics of the amount of people of color that are nurses, there you have it. And I love the fact that this season we're talking about other things outside of that are within the medical field that should be included in this show. Okay? And make Brandy full-time next season. I don't care what any of y'all say. Brandy should be full-time. I forgot when her husband came out, because there was no drama with him. I forgot that he was out there. I only remembered that her husband was out there until he went backstage and he was sitting next to Dr. Eugene. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Looking good in his suit. We ain't got nothing from him, which is fine. He's just a husband to a friend of. But Brandy did a good job this season. I want to see more of her next season. Pageant Mommy says that really was the best scene. Yeah. They talked about Alex Preddy and him being unalived by ICE, and how that affects them, especially like they were like, if this can happen to a white man, that means it can happen to any of us. Brandy says that she says, in regards to them changing nursing from being a professional degree, Love Compy says, I'm a nurse and it's sad. It's very, look, the next administration, all of that will be switched, but how is that going to affect people now for the next 3 years? Angel points out, she's like, that's going to affect nurses, but that's also going to affect patient care. A lot of people are not going to want to become a nurse because of that change, which is crazy. I think you should still become a nurse. People that are considering it, you should still become a nurse. both my grandmothers were nurses. My sister is a nurse practitioner. I know a bunch of nurses. Andy brings up the spike in HIV among Black women. Dr. Jackie points out in Atlanta that spike has been there for a long time. I love, and I'm glad that we're talking about it during this live because I didn't realize that heterosexual women did not realize that there was PrEP out there. PrEP is a drug that's been used for years to prevent people from getting HIV, AIDS. So I didn't realize that this wasn't a drug that was being geared towards heterosexual women as well. Hey, Cynthia, I didn't know that you were RNBSN. Shout out to all the nurses that watch. And if you're watching the replay, be sure to let us know as well. I didn't realize that until this year because now more and more people, shout out to Tamar Braxton. Tamar was one of the first people I saw as a Black woman talking about being on PrEP. I think that's really important. Talk to your doctor. If you're a woman out here that is single and you're dipping it and you're doing it, go talk to your doctor about being on PrEP. I saw that Nene recently when the housewives went up to the Capitol to talk about HIV funding, which has been, because of this administration, they're taking away HIV funding while the numbers of HIV cases are spiking. In 2026, HIV cases are spiking when they shouldn't be. PrEP has been around for years, but now I'm realizing that it has really been pushed out to gay men when this is not just a gay man's disease. What in the 1980s is going on? That's what the narrative was back in the 80s. Black women are greatly affected by HIV as well. Ladies, because I know we have a lot of Black women that follow the channel and are single or, well, look, we're not going to get into, if you feel like you need to be on PrEP, talk to your doctor. Talk to your doctor. I will say this, I'm not a doctor, but as someone that has been on PrEP, I can tell you this. What's going to happen once you get on PrEP, you're going to be tested every 3 months. They're going to be testing you for STDs. They're going to also test your kidney function. We talked about this with Dr. Frida. We're going to have to bring Dr. Frida on to talk more about that because I didn't realize that there was a spike in HIV cases, or there has been a spike in HIV cases in Atlanta for a long time. But part of that is because of the DL situation down there in Atlanta. So ladies, get on PrEP. If you are single and you dipping in and doing it and you haven't sex, but also a reminder in regards to PrEP, it is not it doesn't protect you from other STIs. So keep that in mind too, because people feel like, oh, then you can, no, it's not, it doesn't prevent other STIs. So keep that in mind. All right. So y'all let me know in the replay crew. Let me know if y'all went for your consultation for PrEP. And here's the other thing about PrEP. When I first got on PrEP years ago, it was expensive. Now it's not going to charge you. There's also a shot too, but now it's basically free. It's basically free, and there are so many different options in regards to PrEP medication now. So go talk to your doctor about it. Your doctor is not going to, if you're scared to talk to your doctor about it, they're going to be like, no. You should be able to talk to your doctor about your concerns. And we have a lot of followers that follow us in Atlanta. Did you hear what Dr. Jackie said during this? She says there's been a spike in Atlanta. Protect yourself. Protect yourself and make sure that you're getting your medication from a doctor and that you're supposed to. This is the rule. You're supposed to be going to the doctor. You're supposed to be getting your kidneys checked and your STD panel every 3 months. And there you have it. Call me Dr. No, we'll bring Dr. Frida. Dr. Frida watches the recap. Dr. Frida, that will have to be on our list of things to talk the next time you come for our medical hour, because I think there's more to talk about. Again, this is not medical advice from anyone here. I'm talking about my own personal experience, what they talked about on Married to Medicine. Okay. Okay, guys, we're almost at 500 likes. Be sure to like the video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. I have a lot more to go through. We've taken all kinds of, this is part of the reason why I ended up going live earlier than I originally, I changed it back because I didn't think I would be done and ready to go. But there's just so much to unpack. This is our last recap of Married to Medicine. Our last one for this season. Okay. All right. Let me just drop the call-in link for members first before I do anything. I also saw that they dropped a sneak peek of the new season for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Tomorrow, maybe we'll talk about it. Today, congratulations to Brandy. Brandy Norwood is receiving her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame today. Congratulations to her. You know we love Brandy over here. She'll be in New York this Wednesday for her book launch. Her book comes out tomorrow, Phases. I mean, look, they didn't buy time on the channel, but I'll promote because you know we love Brandy over here. Okay, so be sure to check that out. Her new book comes out literally tomorrow, and then she has a New York event. I'll be at the New York event, so if you see me, say hey Kempire. So I'll be in the building. Okay, all right. Moving on. Let's get back to. Okay, so shout out to Dr. Contessa. Dr. Contessa, too, is the one who brought up this conversation about prep. I'm so glad she pointed that out. That's what I like about Dr. Contessa. She's really, really well informed. She's a smart woman when it comes to medicine, and this is what I can appreciate about her on Married to Medicine. All right, let's move on. Then the husbands come out. The husbands have their own section. For those that are new to Married to Medicine, the husbands are a very important part of the show. They always have their own section. They come out. You already know that there's been tension between Dr. Eugene and Steve. Dr. Eugene says that he's not used to being first chair. He seemed a little giddy about it. Did y'all notice that? He's like, oh my gosh, because Cecil's usually first chair. He still should have been first chair, technically, just on the other side. You know what I mean? So Eugene seems a little giddy that he's first chair. I'm like, all right. So Eugene and Curtis talk about Lapgate and what happened in regards to it, because Andy points out, I heard something happen backstage. And they try to downplay it, but Curtis says that Toya lied on him on Watch What Happens Live because she said that she had heard from multiple women that he was touching multiple women. And he says that's a lie. Toya, backstage, turns to Jackie and she said, this is your fault because you denied that Curtis even pulled me into your lap. Did she never own it? I don't remember now. Did she never own it at all? But that's Dr. Jackie. That's not surprising if she didn't. Maybe next season this will be something they talk about again. Lord have mercy. No, this is so old. You saw how old that scene was? How many years ago was this? Eugene says that Curtis wouldn't admit that he pulled Toya into his lab. All right? Look. We already talked about this at the top, but I'm just going to say this. Curtis, that's not what Toya said on Watch What Happens Live. You did do it to multiple women on the show. And to the lady in Hilton Head, okay? Where you were getting some head. So, she did not lie. The way that you spun what she said on Watch What Happens Live into something completely different, where she heard from other women that you were, touching women. That's not what she said. I understood completely what she said on Watch What Happens Live. She was asked a question and she was just like, and the fact that Dr. Jackie never owned it or showed any accountability. So Nandy says, Jackie can't even talk. You can't even talk about the infidelity. You're right. And that's a problem. If you can't talk about the infidelity, that means you really haven't healed that situation. Gloria says, I'm watching Married to Medicine from season 1 and OMG. It's a good watch. Those first 8 seasons, even maybe season 9, are really, really good and really strong. Trez says that Curtis was wrong, and it was weird that Eugene and Toya didn't say anything in the moment. Yeah, that's true. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just find it weird that we're talking about this years later. But they did bring it up on Watch What Happens Live. I felt like it should have been something very quick and easy. I don't think that it needed to be what Curtis was trying to turn it into, because that is not what Toya said. The tape, and mind you, Curtis is now coming to the reunion saying the same thing, perpetuating this lie. That's not what she said. And I don't know why Andy didn't point that out. That's not what she said. Okay. Moving on. And that's what happens on Watch What Happens Live. They're always going to be messy. All right. So Damon tries to justify his massage. They point out the fact that Dr. Damon Daddy, said that he didn't receive a massage. He was like, I did. He's like, we get massages every week. That's not what I'm used to when it comes to a massage. You see what I'm talking about? Dr. Damon Daddy is just as bad as ever. He doesn't know the difference. You're a smart man, Dr. Damon Daddy. You know what a massage is. It's very convenient. Like, oh, that's not what I would define as a massage.
Lies! The lie!
I got so frustrated with Dr. Damon because I was like, and this is why they're together. This is why they are who they are together. Him and Heavenly. So he tries to downplay the massage. He said he didn't consider that massage. So Dr. Eugene talks about the party. Here's my problem with Toya and Dr. Eugene. I think they are so embarrassed with how that party at their home played out that they're trying to gaslight the audience, gaslight the cast, as if it's their fault why they reacted that way. Because Eugene says, he had a married moment. He says that some of the folks that were invited to his house probably would never have been invited to his house because, other than because it was an all cast event. You guys were embarrassed. And literally, I have to agree with Dr. Mimi. She didn't say anything. Dr. Eugene says, oh, I could see Mimi and Dr. Heavenly's faces. You saw their faces, so you assumed that they were judging, and that's why you guys were so upset? You and Toya need to show some accountability. You had a married moment. You were embarrassed, but do not blame the other people for the way that Toya was drunk and speaking to you, or how you may have been a little lit and you spoke to her. Own it. Just own it. They did not own it. They were blaming and gaslighting the audience and this cast. So Eugene, where is it? Oh, Steve says that sounds like a narrative spin. I agree with him. And he's defending his wife. So Eugene says that there was no apology because he saw Mimi's face had judgment. No, come on now. Mimi didn't say anything. She may have said something in her confessional, but it was in her confessional that you didn't see until it aired. So Eugene says that there's no apology for that. Steve calls Eugene Bush. Do y'all think that was too far? Because I feel like Steve, I get where Steve was coming from. I appreciate Steve standing up for his wife, but he was trying to emasculate Dr. Eugene. He probably sees what people say about Dr. Eugene on social media. But I will say this, Dr. Eugene, you were doing a lot more than any of the other husbands. When the husbands and the wives were out there on stage, you were doing the most talking. But so was Steve, but they muted his mic. Because I saw when they had the camera on Dr. Mimi, I saw Steve moving. So I knew he was talking, but they turned his mic off. Okay? They turned his mic off. Okay, so Dr. Eugene and Steve, again, it might be projection. They're very much like Dr. Damon Daddy and Heavenly are very much like Toya and Eugene. Dr. Mimi and Steve might be a little bit like Eugene. So Eugene says the energy is off this year. He's like, he's been here a long time and he's blaming Steve for the energy being off this year. I didn't like how he tried to pull I've been here a long time. He tried to pull the OG thing on Steve. And he's like, the energy is off this year. And he's blaming Steve for the energy being off. He's like, the men never come at each other like this. Do not blame Steve for that. Do not blame Steve for the energy being off. Because I don't believe that it's Steve's fault. I appreciate Steve actually showing up this season. It actually made the men a little bit more interesting during their segment. Because what did you want Steve to do? Just take it on the chin? What did you want him to do? I would have looked at him weird if he just took it on the chin when it comes to how Toya has been treating Dr. Mimi. So, but I didn't like the emasculation that we were seeing with Steve versus Dr. Eugene, referring to him as Eugene Bush. Okay, but some people would agree with him. I'm just saying, some people would. Eugene emphasizes that he has been there a long time. All right. Y'all with the chin comments, I already knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. It was in my head, and I said, I'm not going to do it. But y'all, here y'all, Leonora on, y'all are a mess. Okay? Okay, well, at least I just left it there, okay? All right. Curtis tries to defend Steve when Dr. Eugene tries to say that the energy is off. And this reignites the argument between Dr. Eugene and Curtis. Damon addresses why he didn't tell Heavenly about his son's arrest. And to me, Dr. Damon Daddy said a bunch of nothing. He tried to spin this whole situation, and it's exactly what Heavenly did. And I don't think we talked enough about this in part one, how Heavenly really tried to sidestep the conversation about her son's arrest, because the timeline that she painted for us was not timelining. And I'm just like, when did this happen? When did he have a medical emergency? Y'all look terrible in the chat. I'm not even looking at the chat anymore. So he tries to spin the situation. Look, I will agree with this because he is a doctor. And if his son had a medical emergency, I can understand him feeling helpless and not. He's like, I should be able to help my son if he's having some sort of medical emergency because he's read all the books. I understand that. You could see in his eyes that he was very much emotional. They have not seen their son. I don't know where their son is. I just don't understand what they're telling us. When did he have the medical emergency? Did he have the medical emergency during the arrest 2-3 years ago? It's not making sense. And I get it. You don't want to talk about it. Some will say it's not their story to tell, but you're talking about it. Get off of reality television. Okay? So he says that he talks about his son's mental health and not being prepared for it as a doctor. He confirms that he has not seen his son. He does agree that this cast seems to weaponize personal issues. Dr. Simone is screaming backstage. She's like, you should tell your wife to stop doing that. And I was like, no matter how you feel about Dr. Simone, she's right. Your wife is one of the main people that perpetuates this. And Dr. Damon was be like, but I don't talk about the wives. I don't do any of that stuff. But your wife is doing that about the husbands. And Andy's just like, do you talk to your wife about it? He's like, I do have these conversations with Heavenly. And Andy's like, does she listen to you? And he's just like, I mean, she does. Is she getting better with it? I mean, for the most part. All right. Kimmy says, Kempire, we have to remember this was taped after Toya's interview with Carlos King, where they completely bashed Mimi and Steve. Well, look, I'm not, and please understand, I'm not defending Toya and Dr. Eugene, because I do agree with Steve and Dr. Mimi. There's something about them that triggers Dr. Eugene and Toya, and we've been talking about this throughout this season, that it feels like it doesn't make sense. And I'm not saying that Dr. Mimi is innocent because we saw what Dr. Mimi did with Brandy, but that was one moment. It felt like this even before that moment. Something about Toya does not like Dr. Mimi, and I don't know what it is. But they highlight this during the reunion. Dr. Mimi literally says it to them. Like, there's something about us that triggers insecurity in them as a couple. And I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. All right. What else is said? So Dr. Scott points out that Damon's wife does it and brings out rumors or untruths about them. And he can speak to that because of what Dr. Heavenly has said about them on her YouTube channel. Damon says that he personally hasn't done it, even if his wife has said something. Cecil talks about how the dynamic of the men have changed in the group. Damon claims that he has spoken to Heavenly about what she says about the other guys. Damon says that Heavenly has gotten better in regards to it. All right. Boss Lady V says, Kempire, be for real. Mimi started with Toya. Give me an example. How did Mimi, Dr. Mimi, start with Toya? Okay, how did she start with Toya? The energy has been off with them. Go all the way to last season. There's been something off with their energy since then. And I was like, remember we talked about it last season. I'm like, something that's weird. Unless there's something that's happened off camera that we just don't know about. We've been talking about it. Gloria, thank you so much for the super chat. Gloria says, if anything, Steve is Mr. Mimi. He works for Mimi. I did not look. I don't take it. I don't hold it against the husbands defending their wives when necessary, and I don't hold it against Steve defending Dr. Mimi. Kendra, thank you so much for the super chat. Kendra says, where was Brandy's handsome husband? I missed him. Kendra, you missed it when we talked about it. I forgot that he was even out there. I only noticed when the husbands went backstage and he was sitting next to Dr. Eugene. I was like, look at him looking good in his suit. look at him looking good in his suit. Oh, Balari says, hold on. Balari says, no one is intimidated by Mimi. What? I mean, it's giving that, though. Y'all might say that, but it's giving that. Come on. Mm-hmm. Amanda says that Toya doesn't like that Mimi calls her out on her BS. Could be. But it seemed like by the end of the reunion, they were at least amicable. Like, it didn't seem that deep. But it does seem, it feels more deep between Dr. Eugene and Steve. Hold on. Let me see. All right. Guys, keep liking the video if you haven't already. We have almost 600 likes, but we have nearly 2,000 people in the building. So we are going to have to get up to at least 750 likes before I drop the call and link. But if you are a member of the channel, I've already dropped the call and link on the community tab. We already have a few members that are backstage. I know some of you were waiting to call in. You can start rolling in because we already have a few people backstage that want to share their thoughts and opinions on Married to Medicine. But before we even get to the callers, we still have a lot more to talk about when it comes to, I know you're like, what? But shout out to our sponsors for this recap of Married to Medicine. I know you're probably tired of hearing people say, new year, new me. However, it can be a new year and a new you. Everyone is trying to get back into the gym. They're trying to do some weight loss things. You may have also heard of GLP-1s. Well, our friends over at Ro has gotten you covered with the new GLP-1 pill. The pill is a new, more convenient and approachable way to GLP-1s if you've been thinking about it. A self-administered shot can be a bit intimidating. But now there's a pill that delivers comparable results. If you've been thinking about getting on a GLP-1, Ro might be the way to do it. They have 100% online care, access to clinically proven, FDA-approved medications, free insurance checks, side effect management, dosing support, and more. Ro offers the first FDA-approved GLP-1 pill for weight loss at the lowest cost around. The new GLP-1 pill has the same weight loss ingredient as the shot and packs comparable results to the shot. It can help patients lose 14% of their body weight in a year on average. This is based on a study in non-diabetics with obesity or overweight plus a weight-related condition with diet and exercise. You may have also seen Serena Williams talk about collaborating and endorsing Ro as well. As a world-class athlete, she also wanted to drop pounds after having children. If I had needed this particular option, this is what I would use. A pill versus a shot, why not? Go to ro.co/Kempire to see if you're eligible for the new GLP-1 pill on Ro. That's ro.co/Kempire to get started on Ro. Go to ro.co/safety for box warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medication. More details on your discount and more will be available in the description. Okay, I get it. It's not a new year, but it can still be a new you. As you know, we've partnered with Factor many, many times, and this is no different. But let me paint a picture for you. Hunger strikes and you're exhausted. I know it, especially on a busy day. There's something healthy in your fridge or pantry that you should be making, but you don't have it in you. Relatable, right? For me, eating healthy isn't a willpower problem. It's a setup problem until I found Factor. As you know, I have a busy schedule. Sometimes there's breaking news and I do not have the time in me to cook that meal or prepare for that meal. With Factor, I'm hitting my nutrition goals this season without the planning, grocery shopping, or cooking. What I also love about Factor is that you're getting great quality meals, dietitian approved meals. Factor has meals built around your goals, whether that's weight loss, overall nutrition, more protein, or GLP-1 support. For strength and workout recovery, check out Factor's Muscle Pro collection. As I've mentioned many times before, Factor meals are crafted with functional ingredients from lean proteins, colorful veggie, whole foods, and healthy fats. Factor bans 175 plus ingredients, no artificial colors, no sweeteners, no high fructose corn syrup, and no refined seed oils. And most importantly, convenience. Ready in 2 minutes, Factor shops, preps, cooks, and delivers straight to your door, so you have more time for everything you love this spring. Head to factormeals.com/Kempire50off and use code Kempire50off to get 50% off and free daily greens per box with new subscription only, while supplies last until September 27th, 2026. See website for more details. More details on Factor and your discounts will be available in the description. Thanks, Factor. And we're back. Shout out to our sponsors for today's live. We appreciate them. More information on all of our sponsors will be available in the description. Shout out to those of you that have been liking the video. We're still not at our goal at 750 likes, but we have nearly 2,000 of you here. So be sure to like and be sure to subscribe. It is a subscribers only live chat. Soraya, wait, hold on. Where's Soraya's comment? Soraya, how does that make sense? She says, now, Kev, how you want me to lose weight and gain weight at the same time? Factor, you're not going to gain weight. You saw that there's all kinds... I can't with y'all. There's all kind of healthy choices there, Soraya. Is that what you were reading in between those lines? How'd you get to that conclusion? But okay. Nomad Tiff, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Nomad Tiff says, could it be colorism? Toya is no longer the lone pretty light-skinned girl. Also, Mimi's marriage appears stronger than Toya's. I don't think it has anything to do with colorism. But okay. But yeah. All right. So back to this, and then we're going to get into some callers for our Married to Medicine recap. The husband and wives are on stage. Quad talk about Dr. Jackie and Curtis's relationship, and she believes that they're probably more sexual than they let on. Andy says that, Dr. Jackie's pretty sex positive, so I don't see her being sort of like some sort of fuddy-duddy when it comes to sex. Cecil says that Simone was more mild-mannered as a girlfriend than she is now as a wife. And she was like, I was trying to get that ring. I mean, I can see that. I could definitely see that. But I feel like he probably saw those elements of Simone in their relationship early on, too. I don't think she did like a complete 180. You know what I mean? So, Steve and Dr. Mimi, they talk about their relationship and doing check-ins on their relationship because of what, raising a child with special needs. And we've talked about this before. There's a high divorce rate with parents of children with special needs because of how challenging it can be on a relationship. Dr. Mimi says that she's in therapy every 2 weeks, which I can appreciate, especially her being a psychiatrist, but also dealing with what she's dealing with and being on reality television. She might have to add some more sessions in a month, because reality television, I can only imagine with the comment section and everything like that. And the Toya fans probably coming for her. I could see it. Dr. Mimi, yeah, add that session. If you've been on the fence about adding a session, add that session. Okay. But she says when it comes to her relationship with Steve, they're always constantly checking in with each other. I think in any relationship, you should be doing that. But I can understand more than ever, especially dealing with a child with special needs, you should be doing that more so. Simone, because we didn't really explore a lot of this during this reunion, but Dr. Simone and what's going on with her and Cecil. She wanted to clear up that she isn't paying Cecil's bills. She says that Cecil has 2 jobs. Why haven't... Okay, what are those 2 jobs? Like, I know one of them is real estate. What's the other one? Oh, wait, him being on the show. Does he get a paycheck for being on the show? She said she's not paying his bills. He has 2 jobs, okay? And that they split the household bills. Because she says that that's a narrative that's out there. That is the narrative that you have painted of your relationship. You have made it seem that all of this is on you. If Cecil pays his own bills and has his own job, why is it that you can't retire? You're frustrated with them. You're like, I can't even retire. And maybe it's not about Cecil, and it's just about the boys. But she also gives an update on the Look, the boys. I'm gonna just put. That's what they refer to them as. For those that are watching, like, why are you referring to them as boys? They're men. Well, she's treating them like boys, and she calls them the boys. So she says that nothing really has changed. It's been a gradual change. Nothing has changed. Please understand. Nothing has changed. Andy said he cringed a bit watching how her son Michael spoke to her. All right. So, she says nothing really has changed. Her biggest issue with Cecil was the fact that he didn't support her, and we understood that. He did not support her in the conversation. When they have a conversation with the boys, she just needs him to be like, your mother and I had a conversation, and this is what we believe is happening. And that was her biggest frustration. But we've seen a pattern with Cecil doing that for years, not just with the boys, but with his old friend that he's no longer friends with. And that affected their marriage, which almost caused their divorce. Pageant Mommy says she obviously likes it, so, which I get. You like it, we love it for you, but you gaslit us. It was giving Dr. Contessa. She gaslit us. We were all team Dr. Simone. We were like, yes, Dr. Simone. Only for us the next week, we were like, wait a minute, Dr. Simone. She on IG Live with the boys and Cecil and then gaslighting us in the comment section. Like, he's got 2 jobs and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, we were on your side. We were defending you. Okay, but fine. Fine. You like it, we love it for you. So Curtis addresses the out of order comments that he said to Quad and King, and he apologizes if he offended. And they move on from that. This just reminded me, like, where was King in this section? Like, Quad, I'm just looking at you with the side eye. You can't be on this show if you're not willing to really give us the full story. You brought this entire man on this show for the last 2 seasons and made him fight your battles with your ex. And then you just dash him away. Anyway. All right. Steve addresses the whole Met Gala situation, and he says that he addresses not paying for the Met Gala ticket and said that he felt like it was strategic and targeted. I have to agree. That's the way it felt. Dr. Simone tries to come to Toya's defense and says she pulled up on all of us in regards to the tickets. However, even during the reunion, Dr. Simone, they didn't show that. They didn't show it. It felt targeted at the scene. We literally were watching it, and we're seeing, like, okay, where's the footage? Where's the footage of Toya pulling up on you, Dr. Simone? Dr. Simone says she bought her ticket. She bought 10 tickets. 10 tickets for who? Y'all bought 10 tickets, and still y'all only raised $10,000. See, I always go back to that. You bought 10 tickets and still only raised $10,000 to give $5,000 scholarships to those young ladies? I don't understand. So Steve says he felt that it was strategic and targeted. He points out that Toya Eugene didn't contribute last year. He also points out, and well, that gets Toya upset because Dr. Contessa, and I have to agree with Dr. Contessa, because I think we've been saying this, that Dr. Eugene really involved himself too much. This is something that should have been amongst the ladies, but he was very much involved. He was at the door, chastising and accosting Steve and Mimi for not buying a ticket, which we do see during the Met Gala. They do eventually pay and buy a ticket for the Met Gala. So Toya saying that they never paid. I'm like, Toya, we literally seen them on camera paying. So, as I said before, Simone tries to defend Toya in regards to that and says that she rolled up on everyone. But we don't see the footage. We have not seen the footage of her rolling up on anyone besides them. Okay? V-Light says, Kempire, it's an edited show, but we're at the reunion. Are they completely discarding that piece of information? That's what the reunions are for. Usually, this is when they were like, if Dr. Simone's going to say that, they would normally put in when Toya is rolling up on the other ladies, where's your money for the tickets? We don't see any of that. We still to this moment have not seen it. We didn't see it in the moment, and we have not seen it at the reunion. So where is it? Dr. Contessa calls out Toya and Eugene. She says at some point during this Met Gala, it became the Toya and Dr. Eugene show. And she says that Dr. Eugene should have just been a guest at this event. He should not be accosting people about tickets at the door. I agreed with Toya. I agreed with Dr. Contessa. So Toya says this. She says in defense of how she handled this event. She says the first year, Dr. Jackie basically did all the things and did not involve the ladies. The second year, she did the same thing, and she just asked them for the money. She said, so she just followed what Dr. Jackie did, where she did all the things and, did not involve the ladies. And she says that according to Dr. Eugene, Toya came to him and was like, we're supposed to have this Met Gala soon. They're trying to set me up for failure, which we do believe. And that's why he jumped in to help his wife. Fine. Dr. Contessa claims, she said, pull out the group chat jacket, because you'll see that I said I would help you. I believe that. I believe that at least one or two of those women would have helped her finish this Met Gala. Y'all definitely needed help because you did not raise enough money for this Met Gala. It looked like a fine affair. Y'all need to stop probably calling it the Met Gala, because that's not a gala at all. Where's the food? They had chicken wings. Okay, they had chicken wings. I will give this to, I'm going to give Toya credit for this. They have a website now. They are actually a foundation. They are a 501c3. Amazing. Next year, y'all need to raise at least $100,000. At least. For medical school, at least $100,000. And you could do that. You could do that with the show. You can do that with, first of all, y'all should be able to raise $100,000 just with the medical community that y'all are amongst. Sidebar, Mariah, if you see this, you should do your own Met Gala. You don't have to call it the Met Gala. I know she used to do something on the show. What was it called again? Forgot what it was called. You should do it again, but just do it for real charity and raise over $100,000. Do it, Mariah. You know you can do it. Come on, Mariah, do it. Everyone say, do it, do it, do it, do it. I'm messy. Do it, do it, do it. I know you all say this every time. Bring back Mariah, bring back Mariah. I agree with you. However, I don't see that happening. There was a lawsuit. There was a settlement. I think production doesn't want to work with Mariah. I think they're still resentful that Mariah is still someone that people talk about. I think they're also resentful that she's still credited on the show. But bring back Mariah. Doctors on the dock. Yes. Honestly, what would get me excited for next season is if they announce that Mariah is back. That would get me excited. That would get me excited because when you look back at all of Mariah has offered to this show, like when it comes to confessionals, when it comes to memorable moments, she is the Nene of Married to Medicine. She is. I don't see it happening. I would love it though. For me, that would give a nice boost to the show. And then they should do Doctors on the Dock. Mariah, do Doctors on the Dock. Come on. Let's do it. All right. I've digressed. All right. What else happens? So they're getting back into it. Steve points out that they're talking about him. Oh, they go backstage. So after they're back and forth, because it does get very heated between Toya, Eugene, and Dr. Mimi and Steve. And Dr. Mimi basically says there's something about their relationship that triggers Toya and Dr. Eugene. There's something about it, okay? And Toya claims that Steve and Mimi still have not paid a dime, but they have. We literally see them buying tickets at the Met Gala. So backstage, Steve points out, I thought this was weird, Steve. I don't know why you decided to bring this up. I get it. You're trying to say that Dr. Eugene is insecure and jealous of you for whatever reason. And he says that, he points out that, Mariah's comments about him having his chest out. Is that why you decided to have your chest out at this reunion? I hated Steve's outfit. I liked his wife's outfit. I hated Steve's outfit. I think Steve is a little tacky. Not a little tacky. Steve is tacky. That outfit, Brandy's husband looks sharp though. And y'all probably didn't even see Brandy's husband. He was sitting right next to Dr. Eugene. Dr. Eugene looks, what's the word? A mess. Did y'all notice Dr. Eugene with his glasses on the tip of his nose? Like an old man. Dr. Eugene, you're only 40-something years old. He's like and get involved with the ladies like, what'd you say? And then I'm like, you would have thought he was Curtis's age. I was like, what is going on? I'm like, Dr. Eugene, pull that up. This is why Toya says the things that she says about you. Anyways, back to the weird comment from Steve. So Steve points out Toya's comments about his chest being out. And I'm thinking to myself, why are we bringing that up? And he says that Dr. Eugene is insecure. He's like, I know that made you insecure. But why are you bringing that up? Did that do something to your ego? Because that's from last season, right? What's last season? Or was that this season? I can't remember. But it was recent. So Eugene says that Steve is having a temper tantrum and he walks out of the room. Steve says that Eugene has little man syndrome. I mean, you know who I blame? I blame you, Toya. Toya's like, what? You've given this group the fodder. If you did what a good relationship would always do, not talk about your issues, not even your issues, because you're on a reality show. Like, make these weird comments where you emasculate your husband in front of this group, they would not weaponize it against you. That's why he said that. Because that's why he called you Eugene Bush. That's why he's referring to you as a little man. I'm not saying that he don't have little man syndrome with his glasses on the tip of his nose like the. I'm like, Eugene, if you don't pull your glasses back, I blame you, Toya. I blame you for that, all of that. All right. Oh, no. T Taught You says, hot take, Toya like that body on Steve. I think it's obvious, right? I mean, she's not dead. I think it's okay if you're in a relationship to find other people attractive. But to say it, come on. Mr. Mellon Magic, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Mr. Mellon says, Steve did a lot, but Eugene and Toya did them dirty. In a cast event, they will show up. Simone, you have Cecil looking like a brokey bartender. Not us, ma'am. Ooh. Not a brokey bartender. Is that his second job? Is he a bartender? I know he has the bar downstairs in the basement, but is he a bartender as his second job? All right, let's round out this conversation. For those that are just joining us, we're talking about the latest episode of Married to Medicine. This is the final episode of season 12. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions on Married to Medicine and what stood out to you, what didn't stand out to you, what you felt like were missing. I feel like we could have gotten more about Dr. Contessa and what was going on with her, what's going on with the building, what's going on with her relationship, her not feeling like Dr. Scott threw her a party, but fine. All right. So we have the finale at the end. Andy says that Heavenly may have to leave the show if she wins. Contessa says, so this is goodbye, huh? Contessa had probably the two funniest moments for me this season, or at least towards the end of the season. At Angel's party, when she fell asleep and then woke up, and then what you guys think? She says, loved it, loved you. And then at this reunion where they're like, if you win, you're going to have to leave the show. She's like, and Dr. Heavenly is like, I'm not, closing out any of my options. Huh? I'm not, I don't get it. But Dr. Contessa is just like, so this is goodbye, huh? Like dead serious, like straight face. Even when everyone starts cracking up at what she said, her face is dead serious. So this is goodbye, huh? I thought that was hilarious. Right? Regina says, Contessa had me kiki. I thought that she was, every time they played it during the previews, I laughed. And then when they showed it, I laughed again. So this is goodbye, huh? Oh, and Andy's just like, wait, are you segueing her out of here? Yes. And then Contessa says, you know what? Because she's gonna win. She's gonna win. She cleaned it up nicely. Simone thanks Dr. Jackie for showing up, that she values their friendship, whatever. But Simone addresses Heavenly and says that she's assassinated many characters on this show. Heavenly says that Dr. Simone has put her business on TV in a way that she never would. We know. We see it. We've seen it for many years. And we literally saw them talk about this during the reunion. They don't believe that Dr. Heavenly is honest about her life on the show. They all agreed with that. And she basically told on herself in that moment. I did find it interesting when Heavenly looks at Dr. Jackie, because Dr. Jackie's looking at her. And she says, look at your friend over there. Look, at she was pissed at Dr. Jackie. Because when they came back out to the reunion set, they were holding hands, Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie. Dr. Heavenly, that's a dark spirit. Probably mad. Like a little kid. Mad. Quad. So Andy, he's getting a finalization on everyone. Quad says that this cast is her family and no one should ever play with them. Because you remember, that's been the big thing with Quad and her relationship with these other women, is that she did not see them as true friends. I still believe that. I think Quad has learned to play the game in order to keep her check on this show. Quad says, I feel like I came up through the trenches.
Lies! The lie!
Oh, Quad, you look like it in that wig too. She said, I feel like I came up through the trenches. She starts crying. You know Quad, okay? You know Quad. And that's how the reunion ends. They end with a champagne moment. Toya makes the toast, and that's how the season ended. If you're part of the replay crew, I want to know how you guys would rate from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, how you would rate this season as a whole. How would you rate the reunion? I think they did a good job. Yes, there were elements in the reunion that were left out, but I think they did a good job in this two-part reunion. Let's normalize that. Let's normalize two-part reunions. I felt like they did it well. I think production and editing did this reunion well. But what do you want to see for season 13? Who do you want to see come back for season 13? If you are a member of the channel, I've already dropped the call link for you guys on the community tab, a live chat. We already hit 800 likes. Keep liking the video. I am going to drop the call in link for the general audience as well. We appreciate you all liking the video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Exactly. Jolene? Is that how you pronounce it? Or is it Jolie? Jolie says, Brandy has a personality and they should bring her back. I think they should make her full-time. I'm trying to understand why they didn't make her full-time. I would prefer to see her full-time than Quad. I could see that switcheroo. If Quad comes back, she really should be a friend of. I don't think they will. I don't understand why Quad was sitting next to Andy, though. Ali, thank you so much for the super chat. Ali says, did I miss something? Wasn't that chest big? Wait. Wasn't that chest dig a dig at all the husbands? Why did Steve make it about him? It's giving hit dog hollering. Well, no, because remember at the end of her comments, yes, it was a dig at all the husbands, but then she says, no, she's like, no, Steve can have his chest out like King because he has a nice chest. So it wasn't a dig. It wasn't a dig at Steve. I still think that it was weird for him to bring it up. I was like, wait, why are we talking about that? Did that feed your ego? Okay. All right. Carissa says, Dr. Contessa was so clearly broken up about Heavenly leaving. She's like, so this is goodbye, huh? That still makes me giggle. All right, let me get to the callers, guys. Let's get to the callers. Shout out to almost 2,000 of you that are watching on multiple platforms. We appreciate you. Cynthia's backstage. Cynthia, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine's season end?
Hi, Kempire. How you doing?
Can you turn that TV off?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's my kid. Put mute. Hold on one second, Kempire.
Hmm.
The kids are on spring break.
Oh, hey kids.
Unfortunately,
No,
I'm sorry about the noise.
that's okay.
I will rate the season a B minus.
Okay.
It was a good season. You
Okay.
know, I'm not a hard grader.
We
I
know.
don't
Actually,
know why
that's actually
you
pretty
got
hard for you. Mm-hmm.
it's a cancer in me. I
Mm.
don't know why people don't see it for Dr. Heavenly. I think she's very entertaining.
Mm.
I like Dr. Heavenly.
Mm-hmm.
I like Dr. Heavenly, and I think Steve was the MVP, and that's it, Kempire.
Okay. Thank you, Cynthia.
You're welcome.
Take care. Enjoy your spring break. See, Cynthia, she kept it real quick and cute. Love Calm Peace is backstage. Love Calm Peace, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine? Love Calm Peace, you're muted.
Okay, my bad.
That's okay.
Hey, honey.
Hey, how are you?
I do not agree with the first caller. He was not the MVP
Oh,
to me, in my opinion.
okay.
Um, and with Mimi and Toya, Mimi, I think I just can't see it for her because like stop trying to psychoanalyze your friends.
Mm.
And I see like I don't know if y'all remember, but like Mimi had started coming from for Toya like from the beginning.
Mm.
And I don't know if that's because of her like, her alliance with Heavenly or whatever, but she was just real nasty to Toya unnecessarily, I think. But I think Steve did way too much, and um him making the comment about Eugene, like, okay, we get it. And as for Toya, yes, like you set the tone for them to talk about your husband in
Mm-hmm.
that way. But I get her point. Like, yes, it's getting old, and y'all find something else because they are very what I do appreciate about them is they're very genuine about their relationship and their problems.
Mm.
Unlike Heavenly, she can go by.
Oh.
But thank you.
Thanks, Love Calm Peace. Take care.
You too.
All right, Miss Park is backstage. Hold on, bring up Miss Parker. Miss Parker, what did you want to share?
Hey,
How
Kempire.
are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing. I thought you were sleeping in.
Well, Kempire, I try to keep it real, but okay. So I hate to sound like I'm beating a dead horse.
Okay.
So bear with me. So the whole lap gate, since
Mm.
they gave it a name and they named the puppy, please review season 5, episode 11. Toya walked in front of that man, stood in front of him, and said, I'm going to see if he's going to pass the test. He pulled her. He was stupid for pulling her into his lap. I give it. I 100%. The whole cheating thing. This is a season right after the cheating thing.
Mm.
She stayed in his lap. They're telling her to get out of his lap. Heavenly's pulling her out of him, trying to pull her out of his lap. And then she went back to where she was. She wasn't even really trying to cross him. She just went in front of him to test him. I
Mm.
don't think Jackie, honestly, in my opinion, owes her an apology because they only showed like 10 seconds of what was like more of like 5 minutes.
Mm.
And then she spent the whole episode trying to get people on her side. Well, Curtis did this. Like she was giving Curtis a hard time in that whole episode.
Mm.
But my time is up. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss
Have a good
Parker.
day.
Take care. I don't know why we're talking about something from season 5 though. Oh yeah, because they brought it up on Watch What Happens Live. You see how they are? All right, Jasmine's backstage. We'll bring Jasmine up next. Jasmine, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
I just wanted to share. First of all, I would give the season a B. I didn't watch all the episodes, but I would give it a B.
Okay.
Um, I would say for next season, honestly, I know a lot of people like Quad. She has a great fan base, but I agree with you. There's no reason for her to be there on the
Yeah.
show. She's held on to it for as long as she could, but honestly, she barely talked this whole episode.
Right?
The whole thing with Steve, Eugene, with the couples, Mimi and her husband and Toya and her husband, I feel like it's a lot of ego involved on both of their sides.
Mm.
It's funny because I was watching Toya and Mimi go at it, and I was like, they remind me of me and a coworker I have. Like from Jump Street, we just didn't see for each other. There was no reason. We
Uh-huh.
just we just be going at each other. So
Mm.
I stay away, she stays away. We stay in our own little worlds. If we meet up, it's always energy. Even if we're
Mm.
not saying nothing. I don't know what it is. I have no real reason. Like
Mm-hmm.
Mimi said, I think, and Toya said, like we have no real reason. We just never meshed. So I was kind of tickled and kind of laughing. I was like, "Oh, that reminds me of a me and such at my job."
Wow. That's,
Yeah,
I mean,
it
some people just do not mesh.
they just don't mesh. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but that's all I have to say. I hope a lot less egos show up to the Met Ball. Other than that,
Mm,
because that's the biggest problem out of it all for me.
yeah.
That's
Thanks.
all I gotta say.
Thanks,
Have a
Jasmine.
great one.
You too. All right. I mean, that does happen. What's Mimi's star sign? What's our astrological sign? Does anyone know? We know that Toya is in Aries. Let's bring up Kimberly. Kimberly, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
All I really want to say is boo, boo Latoya, boo. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for her. I'm just like, do you hear yourself? Do you see yourself? I mean, I used to kind of be, I don't want to say a fan, but kind of, I celebrated her and Eugene's relationship and how he stood by her and how they're a little bit less traditional.
Mm,
But that just kind of blew up this year. And although I don't think Mimi and Steve was perfect, but I think just saying that Eugene saying they can't say anything because they're new, what does new have to do with it? People can still have their own opinions
mm-hmm.
about things. And I appreciated that Mimi was able to at least see some of her own faults where Toya had nothing to give. She had nothing to learn. She thought she was always perfect. And I'm just like, that is so stale to watch. It's just boring. It's like the same arguments over and over again. I think they can all just do better.
Mm,
Just be better and do better. Because I really like this show. It's campy, it's fun, but I think it. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up. But I think it's a good. It was a really really good show, and they can do better. The
okay.
end. Thanks,
Thanks.
y'all.
Thanks, Kimberly. Taurus with the T's backstage. We're gonna bring Taurus with the T up next. Taurus with the T, what's going on?
Hey Camp, happy
You
Monday.
too.
I wanted to say this season, I think this season was pretty much okay, but I really hate how we're talking more about who didn't donate what and not more about the fact that when the collective was more involved, they were able to raise more money.
Mm,
It's no better for you to be going around making ideas into corporations, making them into organizations, taking things over just for you to underperform. Girl,
mm,
you might as well have just kept the group together so the students could have gotten more money.
mm,
And Eugene, you can defend your wife in public without making irrelevant comments towards everybody else and then excusing Toya's behavior. If we're gonna complain about Damon not holding Heavenly accountable, we can still like Toya and Eugene's relationship and still say that Eugene needs to hold Toya more accountable as
mm.
well. Thanks, Camp.
Thanks, Taurus with the T. All right. All right. April Aries is up next. April Aries, what did you want to share?
Hi, good afternoon,
Hey.
Kempire. So I concur. I do take my prep daily, and you guys have to make certain that you take it at the same time every day
Yes.
because it was suggested to me like years ago, but I felt like she's kind of judgy. But my doctor is a part of the LGBTQ
Mm,
community. I love him, so yep, and you have to take your I go get tested every 3 months, just like you said, because it's very important. So,
yeah.
guys, please do that as well.
Yep.
And I feel like let's start with Mr. Potato Head, aka Curtis, because he must be. I said to myself during the reunion, right? I said he must be up to his shenanigans again, because why are you sitting down here? Telling people what to do and trying to redeem yourself. We caught you on Ultra 4K HD, babes. You're a cheater, pumpkin eater. Deal with it. And I feel like Steve does a little bit too much, but just enough because I understood what he was saying. And
Yeah.
he was doing a lot with coming for Eugene as far as like emasculating him.
Mm-hmm.
So I do concur with that. And yeah, that's all I had to say. Have a good day, Campfire.
Thanks, April Aries. Take care.
Bye.
All right. Guys, you're just joining us. We're talking to our callers about the final episode, part 2 of the Married to Medicine season 12 reunion. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions on everything that we discuss. I love that April Aries shared about her prep journey as well. I think that's important if you missed our conversation about that, especially because we have such a large female audience. So I think it's important because, again, I don't feel like prep has been geared towards women. And I'm glad that people like Tamar, people like Married to Medicine are talking about it, because now I think there are a lot of you that are watching. They're like, I'm going to talk to my doctor about this. Tasmin's backstage. We'll bring Tasmin up next. Tasmin, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine?
Oh, hey, Kempire, how are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. It's my first time calling in, but I really wanted to say this. On the Dr. Mimi and Steve and Toya and Eugene thing,
Yeah,
this is probably a very unpopular opinion,
that's
but
okay.
it's I feel like from Toya and Eugene, it's a battle for the anchor couple spot because
Oh.
I feel like they are seeing the winds of change blowing and they're seeing that, okay, maybe Jackie and Simone are not going to be the anchors of this show for too much longer. And
Mm.
if it's going to be anybody else, it would be Toya and Eugene because Eugene brings the medicine and Toya
Mm-hmm.
brings the vibes.
Mm.
But then we have Mimi and Steve, which is the same thing. Mimi brings the medicine, and
Mm-hmm.
Steve is kind of a vibe. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
got personality, he will get in the mix, etc. So I think that that's where the energy is coming from. And what
Mm.
Mimi is seeing as jealousy, I think it's probably that.
Hey. That makes that I could see that. I could see that. And I think we talked about that before in regards to, especially because they seem, well, if anything, I think Dr. Mimi and Steve are probably younger than Dr. Eugene
Hmm.
and Toya. So it could be some of that. And a lot of times these reality TV stars are not fighting about what they're saying they're fighting about. It's about the show.
Exactly. And one more thing, I do think that Steve is a little bit low key bullying Eugene. And I think it's that thing where, like, I always say this in my own life, like, life is just high school over and over again. Like, people
Mm.
fall into the same dynamics. And I
Yeah.
think with Steve and Eugene, it's the jock versus the nerd.
Yes.
Because like,
Yes.
Steve keeps trying to bully him.
Yes, that's what it was giving, especially bringing up the whole chess comment. That's a
Yes, and
perfect way.
the reunion, even before the finale, when he did that, like when he was mimicking Eugene walking away from that fight
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, it was giving like low key high school bully.
Yep. And I'm sure Eugene has been triggered by that too. Damn.
Absolutely.
And then the high school bully is trying to take his girlfriend, who's
Yes,
who's the
because
popular
Eugene
girl.
definitely has that. Because Toya was definitely the popular girl that was too good for him, and he's just really glad that he bagged her.
Yep. And
It's
we
a lot
we
of those dynamics
we've been
happening.
talking about that dynamic between them, but with the Steve of it all, I'm glad you pointed that out. That's a really good point. Where's Dr.
So that's
Mimi?
my
Dr.
little two
Mimi, can you
cents.
help us psychoanalyze this? Uh,
Okay, thanks, Kempire.
Thanks, Aspen. Take care. That's a great way. This is why I love when you guys call in, because now I'm like, you know what? That's exactly what it's giving. And it makes me wonder who Steve was in high school. Like, was he the bully, or was he the no? Wasn't he like the scrawny kid in school? Didn't he say that or something like that? I can't remember. But but sometimes the bullied becomes the bully. Just saying. All right. Tress says, but Toya is a bully. Well, damn. All right, guys, you're almost at 900 likes. Keep liking the video. It's easy free. Makai's backstage. We're going to bring Makai up next. Makai, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine?
What's up, Kempire?
Hey.
Okay, I have my notes. So I'm
Okay.
ready. I'm ready.
Let's go.
So first thing, Contessa didn't flinch or move at all when she was giving that goodbye. She was like, "I guess it's goodbye." Didn't even flinch.
I'm still laughing.
I will say Contessa has been lighthearted this season. I enjoyed her this season.
Yes.
Besides her going at Brandy, I enjoyed her. I said Quad being first chair finally when she deserves it after several seasons, but the camera time was very limited to none. I'm like, what is this for? She didn't even deserve first chair's time. They could have just gave it to Heavenly or Dr. Mimi.
Mm-hmm.
Two-part reunion was good. Stick back to this formula.
Mm.
I think that this cast was a great cast. The addition of Brandy was phenomenal. I think I want to see this cast again for season 13 with the addition of Miss Mariah Huck.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing for season 13. I think Toya and Mimi could try to work through their issues and probably get over it. But now with the Steve and Eugene of it all, I think it won't be as seamless as it should be because now they have issues and the men normally don't have issues like this. So this is interesting. Dr. Heavenly cannot leave this show. Unfortunately, unless they bring back Mariah Huck, this is the Quadria Web Kime show. Show. And Toya has a little storyline that she brings in and carries. Last 2 points I have. I did like them talking about how DEI and TikTok are affecting the medical community. That's something I thoroughly enjoy. And then we all know Toya and Eugene have marriage issues. At this point, they need to stop recycling us these marriage issues. Unless we see Toya and Eugene buy a house, I don't care to see it.
Oh. Okay.
I don't care to see it no more.
Okay. All right, Makai. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you, Kempire. Have a
Bye.
good one.
You too. Yeah. All right, let me bring up Excommunicados backstage. Oh, hold on. Excommunicado, there you are. What's going on? You're muted.
Yeah, hi, Kempire.
Hey.
Hey, so for this season, I would say it was a really good season because for me it was like less of toxic stuff and more kind of family and story oriented about the families.
Yeah.
And I would say that the husband section is what the other housewives show are kind of missing because peak RHOA was around that time where the husbands were really involved. For Mimi and Toya, I think Steve recognizes that Toya is a bully and he just doesn't want to let his wife be outbullied by by them. And why he had this much smoke, I didn't really like the Eugene Bush and all the shirtless comments. It was a bit emasculating, but I can't totally hold him to the fire for it because Eugene was there trying to embarrass him about the tickets. And Toya came in and was like, take the discussion outside. Don't be talking about it here, which was rude to him. And Eugene didn't say anything about that. Eugene didn't apologize. And then Toya went on to the interview with Carlos, emasculating Steve, trying to question his sexuality and doing a lot of things there. So it's like all of that bubbled up at the reunion, which is why Steve kind of couldn't understand why Eugene couldn't even hold his any account for what his wife was doing. But yeah, I think it also boils down to this whole the jock trying to steal my wife kind of thing. That's the area caller said. So yeah, that's what I think about it.
All right. Thanks, Excommunicado. One of the things I wanted to mention in regards to what the other caller mentioned in regards to Mariah, Makai mentioned Mariah coming back. If Mariah comes back, I definitely think I want to see Dr. Heavenly come back because that seems to be the only person that can really get under Dr. Heavenly's skin and shut her up. So if Mariah comes back, I don't think so. But I network, if you're watching, production, if you're watching, if this has been a conversation, if you've been on the fence, that should happen. That would refresh this show, honestly. And that's the only reason why I would want to see Dr. Heavenly come back next season, to be honest. That's me, though. All right. Let me bring up Toya next. Toya, what's going on? What did you want to share about Married to Medicine?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
Oh, well, how are you? Are you at the office?
I am on my lunch break.
Oh, okay.
But I'm in the cafeteria.
Oh, okay. What's going on?
Okay, I just wanted to say that this is my first season watching the show, and I think it was really good. But I do think that Toya and Eugene put on for the cameras. And I think that I don't like that whole disrespectful comment she made to him about leading the men was disguised as a married moment. Because that was not a married moment. That was disrespectful. Let's just call it what it is. And y'all been married long enough, y'all been on the show long enough to know not to act a certain way for the cameras. But I think that they put on for the cameras. And they were talked about, so it worked.
Yeah.
Other than that, that was it for me. Thank you, Kempire.
Thanks, Toya. Take care. Do I miss me working in the office? I remember we used to have our cafeteria. Look, I'm reminiscing. When I used to work for the law firm, we had our cafeteria. There used to be some really fun moments. That's the one thing about, I don't miss working for someone else, but the water cooler, excuse you, the water cooler talk, the conversations, the gossip. We used to have some really good kikis. Because, I used to work for a law firm. So there was a period of time where there was a bunch of associates that we would have lunch with. And it was such a good time. I think back, I was like, that used to be a good kiki. We had such a variety of people. And we were loud. We were like, ha, ha, ha. Sorry. All right. Love Coffees. Did you have more to say?
Yes, I did, just real quick. But and then whenever Steve was backstage with the men, and Cecil or whoever was saying, he was just hangry. You saw how I paid attention to how the men weren't entertaining what Steve was saying when it came to Eugene and fussing at him. But then Steve, when he realized like they weren't really, like agreeing with him and, entertaining that conversation, then he tried to change his tune like he was just joking with Eugene, like, sir, please have several seats because yes, y'all are new, but I don't know. Steve just irked me. I don't know why, but that's all I wanted to say.
That's okay. Thanks, Love Compies. It's so interesting to see that there really is a split when it comes to the Toya Eugene and Dr. Mimi and Steve of it all. But like I said, I feel like there's more to what's going on between them, and I think it's more about the show than it is about what they're actually talking about. Maybe we'll get to the bottom of it later. All right, let me bring up GC. JC, what did you want to share?
Oh my God, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Kempire. How are
Hey,
you?
Alma, how are you?
About the show, I thought they did a really good job. One thing I want to say, first thing I want to say, I didn't know prep was for women. So that's like one of the best things about this show. And they need to weave it in the season, not just save it for the medical minute at the end,
Mm,
but they need to have something that we need, that news that we need, whether it be political, but definitely about health issues.
yeah.
So I was really like, just a side note, my daughter died on Christmas and she got dri- died of HIV.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I wish we had known all this stuff before. But anyway,
Wow.
um, I think Mimi and Steve are auditioning, and they went hard for it. I think Heavenly had them all pumped up
Mm.
from last year when they helped get rid of Sweet Tea.
Mm.
So Mimi thought she was in.
So you
Sorry.
so you think that very much like what Heavenly did with Sweet Tea and Dr. Gregory pumped them up and then
Yeah.
basically threw them under the bus. You think that's what she's doing with Dr. Mimi?
Yep, she did it last. If you remember, last year Mimi was a part of the turning around and talking to Sweet Tea and talking down
Mm-hmm.
to Sweet Tea and sort of blaming Sweet Tea for some of the stuff that happened. So I think that's
Mm.
why Mimi thinks that she should be in there, and that's why she and Heavenly were sort of tight on the slide tip. So I think her job was to get rid of Toya, and Heavenly's job was to get rid of Simone.
Wow. Wow.
So,
Okay. All right,
okay, but
GC. Thank you so much for calling in.
okay, thanks.
Bye. Born to Win, we're going to bring you up next. Born to Win, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine?
Hi, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Oh man, my condolences to her daughter
Yeah.
passing. That was really sad to hear just now. I just want to piggyback up what she just said because she kind of put a light bulb in my head when she said that in
Mm.
regards to Mimi and Toya and just trying to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, yes. That question that Dr. Mimi posed, asking what kind of friend Toya is. Clearly, the show is surrounding friendship and just the kind of person that you are, and if you fit in or you do not fit in, if you're healthy enough to keep working and rebuilding relationships.
Mm.
So yes, I can see if there was some sort of plot there for to try to like highlight that Toya is toxic or it's not a great friend, is not supportive or something like that to
Mm.
show that she doesn't belong because they did the same thing to Mariah. So I can see where they're coming from. Just to elaborate on what my thought is of where she was going with that thought process. But yeah, so I just wanted to say hi. I honestly just woke up out of my sleep because I was running late for an appointment. My son is graduating this year, so I'm so excited.
Congrats.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, have a great day,
You
Kempire.
too. Take care. It's about to be that time. It's about to be May. The kids are going to be graduating from college and high school. Wow. I just realized that. See, when you work for yourself, you lose all this stuff. Rachel says, why are people so worried about how Toya treats Eugene? He clearly isn't. At least they're giving you their real life while your faves are out here faking the funk. Well, here's the thing, though. You can't say that people can't comment on Toya and Eugene because you see they're trying to spin what we saw in front of our faces at their home. We saw them be very disrespectful towards each other, and we're reacting to that. The cast is reacting to that. So you can't say when you're on a reality show that people can't react or have a feeling about their relationship when they're on a reality show talking about their relationship. Okay. Guys, we're almost at 1,000 likes. So thank you to everyone that's liked the video already. If you haven't, be sure to like the video. It's easy and it's free. All right. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It is a subscribers only live chat. We're going to take this last caller. Makai called back in. Makai, what do you want?
Oh no, I have forgot one thing.
What?
When it came to Dr. Damon, and what
Daddy.
he was saying. Now, here's the thing. Dr. Damon, is he wrong? Yes. I can admit, as a Heavenly fan, I can admit when Dr. Damon and Dr. Heavenly are wrong. I'm not an apologist, I'm just a fan.
Okay.
But I know when they're wrong. And when you saw Heavenly in the backstage, the confessional, when Simone was like exactly to when what was his name? Scott, when Scott was saying his points about Heavenly, 'cause Heavenly was looking around like, what did he say? She was not even listening. She don't care. Like, I was like, Heavenly just don't be caring. Like,
No.
y'all just gotta realize that Heavenly, like you said, if they bring Mariah back, Mariah's gonna go toe to toe with Heavenly, sorry, because she can go toe to toe. But Heavenly don't care about any of these other ladies like that. She
Yeah.
doesn't care. She's gonna argue, and she's just gonna, continue bringing the mess because they keep putting it on display for her. Like, they put the mess on display for her to come and bring. Like, she would not say anything about these husbands if they did not put it on full display for them to say. She only comes for the husbands because y'all already put it out there. That's all. That's just my thing. She never. I think the issue Heavenly has is because they actually came for a kid. Well, he's not a kid anymore, but her son.
Did they come
And
for a kid?
I mean, Toya was the first one to say it in the first episode of the show. She was like, we don't know where her son is at. She done lost her son. Her son is in the news and stuff like that. So it's like, I wouldn't be as mad if it wasn't if it was brought on the show first. But it seems like these issues with the husbands always get brought on the show first, and then Heavenly comes for them.
Okay.
But I mean, I
Okay.
understand. I understand what the people say. I get it.
Okay, not the
Heavenly gotta
people. Bye, my God.
bye.
All right, let me bring up Ashley. Ashley, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
So I just basically feel like it was a good season, but for next season, well, hold on, let me talk about Curtis first. Because when Curtis got activated, I wanted him to shut his old high booty happy tail up. Because how dare you?
I always giggle to myself when y'all talk about his high booty. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Actually did, sir. You did touch them. But, hey, I digress on that. But next season, can we not have Angel back? And can Quad and Jackie go to in production? Don't come back without Mariah and Audra. But that's how I feel. Thank you.
Bring back Audra. I agree. Thanks, Ashley. Take care. I agree with that. I know I haven't said it in a couple of weeks, but I'm going to say it now. Bring back Audra. I don't know if Audra's interested in coming back. I feel like they would have asked her because we talked about it so many times. Coco Goddess says, was Brandy's husband there? Y'all, I've talked about it. Coco, you just joined us. He was there. If you see the scene when the husbands go back backstage, he's sitting right next to Dr. Eugene when Dr. Eugene and Steve are going at it. And he's looking good in his suit. Bring back Brandy. Bring back Audra. Bring back Mariah. I don't know. I think the only reason why Mariah's not back is because of the cast. I think also because of production and the network and the lawsuit. But I think it's mostly if the cast really wanted her to come back and they would try to. I think they're worried about her coming back because she does hold a fan base. She does hold people that like her. She does hold the fact that she's an executive producer by name and by credit. So I think that's the main issue. But if you're trying to save the show, if you guys really want to save this show, you should bring back Mariah. Bring back Mariah. That would be the biggest news ever if they said that Mariah is in talks to come back. Let me go DM Mariah. Let me go DM Mariah. Mariah, you come back, girl. Is there any hope of you coming back, Mariah? I'm sure. Did she sit down with Carlos? Did he ever talk about that? I can't remember now. It's been so long since that interview. But okay. The last nerve says, thank you for the super chat. Says, Kemp, I have something to say, but I can't find the link. All right, let me drop. You lucky because this is the last one. I'm going to drop the link one last time, and then I'm going. I'm sure that is the Brandy Hollywood Walk of Fame on happening right now? Probably is. And I'm missing all of it. And if you missed it, guys, I had 2 videos yesterday talking about Chili from TLC being exposed as MAGA. She says that she's not. Be sure to check out those 2 videos because I know some of you are waiting on the algorithm to show you. I did do a post update in regards to it. All right. Oh, I didn't even drop the link. Sorry. The last note. There it goes. There you go. Yeah. So if you missed it, be sure to check that out. Wait, I had the link before. Where's the link? I wanted to see if what was happening with Brandy. But anyway, congratulations to Brandy. Brandy's getting her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame today. I'll watch the replay. Okay. Sylvia says Angel doesn't offer much either. Yeah. And she was okay. She wasn't great. If I had anyone to cut, she'd be the first one to cut. Okay, exactly. Dr. Judge says, Angel, beautiful, beautiful condos and gowns. Well, she doesn't have a condo. She has a beautiful house. She does have a beautiful house. That's apparently, what did they say she was? They said she's by the airport, right? Something like that. All right. Let me see. Did the last nerve call in? Oh, Taurus Sun, what's going on? What did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
Oh, well, how are you?
Good. I just want to say this season was good. And everybody, everybody did their thing. I'm sorry, Brandy brought nothing beside her husband, and that's all y'all gonna talk about. She has no personality. We know she has a whole gang of kids, and she needs an extra nanny. But she brought nothing. Angel brung body. That's it. She brung her body. Everybody liked her. She's a beautiful woman. That was basically it. And I think the show went well. The Toya and the Mimi of it, I think they can get back to being friends if they sit down and have a conversation. Their husbands, I'm not sure, but I just wanted to say that I didn't want to get too involved. Yeah, Dr. Damon, if you need help, please blink twice. Thank you.
Oh,
you guys have a good day.
You too, Taurus Sun. Not everybody feeling. I'm sorry for Daddy. Okay. Killy's back. Okay, everybody calling back now. Okay, Killy, what did you want to say?
Hi, good morning. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Rapid fire. I remember nothing about Audra except Toya bullying her. Number one. I'm serious. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Y'all can enlighten me. All right. Bring Mariah back 100%.
Okay.
Heavenly did her job as she always does, right? They set her up to do the work and she gets it done. Steve out-bullied Toya in his attacks against her husband. He out-bullied them, right? I am so tired of hearing Simone scream. I'm over it. I cannot do her another. I'm just over her fam. I'm tired. They're boring. They're bland. Move on. I do want the nurse practitioner to come back. What's her name? With the body?
Oh, Brandy.
No, not Brandy. The other girl.
The nurse practitioner. Angel?
Angel's not a nurse practitioner?
No, she's going to nurse practitioner school now.
Oh, okay. I kind of want to bring her back. I think that the cameraman used her body and not her story. Okay, I think the cameraman used her body and not her story. I think Angel is probably, we could get a little bit more out of her. And I also think that she is also not afraid of Toya.
Did you see the a couple of weeks ago we revisited Angel on Basketball Wives, and we didn't even remember that she was there during the fight between Tammy and what was it? Who was she fighting again?
Tammy, my God, today. I don't remember Angel
Duffy.
being on.
She was fighting Duffy, and we had to go back and watch the actual scene to be reminded about her being that Angel was even there. Angel has done reality television before, and people barely remembered her then.
Dang. All right, I'll take it. I love Stevie. I love Steve. The wife, she needs protecting, and he knows that, period. He knows it. That's why he jumped in full force. Later, Kempire. Love you.
You too. Take care. Bye. All right. The last nerve. Okay, you'll be our last caller. What's going on?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to say, follow me. I think that Steve is like the same as Eugene. Like what you guys were saying earlier. I think that he's the same as Eugene. I think that Mimi is a popular girl for him that he couldn't get in high school. Because if you ever notice like their scenes together, when he's talking to her, even when he was affirming her, he's always waiting for her approval on what he's saying. And I don't know if that's from her being was she a psychiatrist?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's from that, and she kind of has this mind control thing over him, but you could tell he always wants to impress her by what he's saying to her. And he's like waiting like a dog with a bone for her to be like, good job. Like it's weird. And then listen, if you know you know about a cancer man, Dr. Damon ain't fooling me. He never fooled me. Trust and believe. The way that Heavenly acts in public, I believe that Damon acts in private. And I think he has more control than people give him credit for. And last thing, I wish people would stop playing with us Detroit women. Okay? If you can't handle it, don't bring your ass to the table. Oh, excuse. Don't come to the table. Hello, Kenya. Hello, Stacy. Hello, Toya. Stop playing with Detroit women because we're not playing with you.
All right. Thank you. The Last
That's it.
Nerve. Thank you for
Thank
calling
you.
in. All the way from Detroit. Bye. All right. Jocelyn is back. I know I said that was the last call, but Jocelyn's backstage. Jocelyn, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine?
Ooh, I feel so privileged that I'm the last caller. Thank you,
Yes.
Kim. Looking good.
Thank you.
I just want to say I really did not like how people were ganging up on Dr. Eugene. I mean, he really is a kind person. I mean, there are some points where he don't do it. There really are some points where he could have handled the situation better. I'm not negating that, but all of those men stick up for their wives. They ride hard, sometimes
Yeah.
to foolishness. And so this is just his year to ride for the foolishness. And then Curtis, his high horse, please get off it, sir. You were on a different horse in Hilton Head and somebody was riding. Anyway, I just need him to bring it down because him and Jackie and their high horse, I just feel like they sit in their house and talk about people, and that's all they do. And they have these things that they need to work on with themselves. I like Brandy. Angel can go. Quad can go. We don't even know where Quad gets her money from. This is her only job. I'm done. I could say so much more, but it's time for you to go.
Thanks, Jocelyn. Have a great
Bye.
day. Bye. Oh, that was a read. That's Pisces right there for you. That's a Pisces reading, y'all. Wow. Guys, we're almost at 1,000 likes. Be sure to like the video if you haven't already. Kendra, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Kendra says, Kempire, I just went to the clip on Peacock. Brandy's fine man was there. Y'all looking good per usual, right? Right? I have to say, more Brandy, okay, next season. So we get more of her husband. All right, Miss V, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss V Thomas says, next season, I need to see what provokes Toya to move. No more Quad. She can go to RHOA. No, that's a housewife show. She's not even a housewife. Kick out Jackie. No. More of Contessa and Scott's business and Eugene's office. Have a moment of non-medical spouses together. Okay. All right, that's Miss V Thomas's suggestions for next season. Oh, wait, let me shimmy. She sent $20. All right. Guys, don't forget, as you can see, if you're watching this on YouTube, but if you're listening on the podcast, head on over to houseofkempire.com, HAUS, and get your Are You Okay merch. Chili from TLC. Are you okay? No, seriously, are you okay? Be sure to check out those 2 videos that we posted yesterday here on YouTube exclusively in regards to Chili and what's going on with Chili. All of that will be available here, and more information on our sponsors will be available in the description. Thanks to everyone that liked the video. If you're part of the replay crew, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Some of you are watching and relying on the algorithm to see these videos. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure your notifications on so you don't miss out when we go live. There's a lot more to talk about this week, so make sure that you're following us here as well. Make sure you follow us on TikTok because I might go live this evening and talk more about Married to Medicine. So TheKempire on TikTok. Thank you to our King's Guards for holding us down in the live chat. Thank you to our channel members. We appreciate them. Thank you to our subscribers and those of you that just watched the video, even in the bushes. We appreciate you guys. All right. All right. I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your day. Bye, y'all. See you on the next one. Here we go now.